There's a part of becoming authentic that no one talks about. It's not the confidence, it's not the relief, it's not even the freedom, it's the grief. Because when you stop people pleasing, when you stop shrinking, when you stop being who others needed you to be, you don't just gain yourself, you lose versions of your life that once felt safe. And that loss can feel confusing, even shameful, because you were told that growth is supposed to feel empowering, not painful. I'm Sandra, a transformational authenticity coach and counselor. I work with women who are reclaiming their identity after years of self-betrayal, emotional over-adaptation, and people-pleasing. Today, we're talking about the hidden grief of becoming authentic and why it happens, what it actually means, and why feeling this grief is not a sign you're doing something wrong. Authenticity doesn't just change how you show up. It changes what and who fits. When you stop over-functioning, certain dynamics no longer work. When you stop anticipating others' needs, old roles dissolve. When you stop explaining yourself, some people feel unsettled. Not because you became cold, but because you became less available for self-erasure. And here's the truth most people avoid. Growth always costs something, even when it's the right thing. Many women think they're grieving people, but often they're grieving who they were allowed to be in those relationships. You may be grieving the version of you who felt needed, the sense of belonging that came from being useful, the predictability of being the easy one, the illusion of closeness built on overgiving. These weren't small things, they were survival strategies. And when you stop using them, it can feel like losing a language you once spoke fluently. This grief is disorienting because it doesn't follow the usual rules. No one died. Nothing dramatic happened. There's no clear ending. From the outside, it might even look like you're doing better. But internally, there's a quiet mourning. You're grieving. Relationships that felt safer when you were smaller. Approval that once came easily. Certainty about who you were supposed to be. And because this grief isn't socially recognized, many women suppress it. They tell themselves, I shouldn't feel sad, I'm finally being myself. But grief doesn't disappear because it's inconvenient. So why do you think this grief is so disorienting? This grief is disorienting because it doesn't follow the usual rules. No one died, nothing dramatic happened, there's no clear ending. From the outside, it might even look like you're doing better, but internally there's a quiet mourning. You're grieving. Relationships that felt safer when you were smaller, approval that once came easily, certainty about who you were supposed to be. And because this grief isn't socially recognized, many women suppress it. They tell themselves, I shouldn't feel sad, I'm finally being myself. But grief doesn't disappear because it's inconvenient. Now let's explore why many women go back to where they were. This is the point where many women retreat. They soften their boundaries, they resume over-explaining, they make themselves easier again, not because they want to, but because grief plus uncertainty feels unbearable. The old version of you may have been exhausted, but she belonged. And the nervous system often prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar freedom. So returning to people-pleasing can feel like relief until the resentment comes back. So how do you stay with the grief without collapsing? Here's what no one teaches. Grief doesn't mean you made the wrong choice. It means something meaningful changed. You don't heal this grief by rushing to replace what you lost. You heal it by letting it be real, by acknowledging, yes, this costs something. Yes, this is lonely sometimes. Yes, I miss parts of my old life, but still choosing not to abandon yourself. This is not weakness, this is integration. Let's talk about what emerges on the other side. When grief is allowed, not rushed, not denied, something shifts. Relationships become quieter but truer. Connections feel less intense but more stable. You don't stop needing to perform for closeness. And most importantly, you stop confusing being needed with being loved. Authenticity doesn't remove loss, it transforms what connection is built on. If you're in the stage where growth feels lonely and old patterns are tempting, structured support can make the difference between moving forward and going back. You can explore working with me through Unapologetically Me, a 12-week program with weekly one-on-one coaching, or Unapologetically Rising, an 8-week course focused on boundaries, identity integration, and nervous system safety. Both include a final personalized topic designed specifically for you based on where you are in your journey. Links are below if you'd like to explore them. And if this video resonates, please like, subscribe, and share it with a woman who is becoming herself and quietly grieving what that costs. Authenticity is always welcome here. This channel is a safe space for women who are choosing truth over performance, even when it hurts. Thank you for your time, your presence, and your honesty. And remember, the grief doesn't mean you're losing yourself. It means you're no longer willing to lose yourself to belong.